Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Mariana and in today's video I'm going to be showing you my reading journal of 2022. This is how far I have it filled out, but let me just show you. First we have the front page, which is nothing too special. Then we have this bookshelf, which is colored by ratings. And I have different numbers, different locations, so I have to find where the next number is before I write the book in. Here I have the calendar and events, and this is books read and pages read spread, just to keep track of everything on the first page. I really love this. I think it looks awesome. And we have 100 books read, and so far I read 34. I'm hoping to finish book 35 today. We have my A to Z challenge. The and un, or books like that don't count. The book has to actually start with the letter. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Then we have this summer reading challenge, which I can't start until summer actually starts. Then we have book series to complete. So I have quite a few that I mainly DNF, and some of them, I mean, the Bane Chronicles, it's not a book series, but it has short stories, and I did finish, so I'm feeling pretty proud of that. However, I didn't really make too much of an impact on this spread. I was hoping to finish at least 3 more series in the first 3 months, but it's fine. Then we have my rereads and standalones, which I did read, I think, 5 standalones, and then I've unhauled quite a few. We have my Kindle collection. I read 7 books, and the books are forever spread. Now this is the new part. The books in green I've actually unhauled. I went through my collection on Kindle and I just decided I'm gonna do a major cleanup because a lot of these books I have no idea why I even had them. And the ones in this color I have read. So these are just very pretty. And then I keep track of the books that I did haul. And then we have Kindle Priority. I just compiled a list of the shortest books. Then we have my reading challenge, which I'm doing quite well to be honest, but I'm a little bit stuck. Then we have video ideas and end of year reading stats. And I'm doing quite well so far. My best reading month was March, and I mostly go through my physical books, and then I had 7 DNFs so far and 19 unhauls, but I didn't unhaul any book in March. I'm not counting the Kindle books, I just mean physical. And then here, this tracker isn't really that helpful. I would prefer for next year to do trackers where it has 5 stars, 4.75, 4.5, 4.25 and so on, just for everything. Then we have my average rating, which funny enough, in March was the highest, 3.65. Then we have my TBR countdown. Now for this one, I'm doing quite well. I erased a few books, and now whenever I read a Kindle book, I'm just gonna put it in. Whereas before I had a set list of books that I wanted to read, that the majority I ended up unhauling. So this list is completely, I'm just gonna fill it in when I read a book. And then here I have my physical books that I have not unhauled. Then we have my winter TBR, which did not go as planned. As you can see, the books in blue are the books that I have finished, and the ones in green I've ended up either unhauling or DNFing or skipping. And then we have Masha's library, which is my friend's library, and these are the books that she wants to borrow from me in the future, so I just wrote them down. All right, then we have my 2022 favorites reading spread, and I'm not sure if you can see, but basically here I have, for January it was Project Hail Mary, and then in February we had Hunter Moon Academy, and those were the first 3 books in that series. So this is just an entire series, trilogy, but at the time the 4th book that was not out yet, so that one won. And then in March we have The Love Hypothesis, which is, yeah, surprising. I was choosing between The Bridge Kingdom and The Love Hypothesis, and I just ended up going for The Love Hypothesis, but the 2 of them are very much tied. Then we have genres. Now this is where I track most of my genres, and it's one of my favorite spreads. And when I fill it out mostly by instinct. And what I mean by that is, if a book feels more contemporary to me than romance, I am gonna put it under contemporary. If a book feels more adult to me than new adult, I am gonna put it under adult. So these are just a few things that I myself see a particular difference in, and other people may not agree, but this is just kind of my thing, how I separate a few books. Now so far I read mostly fantasy because March was quite a fantasy month. I would have expected to read more paranormal or romance, but the books that I thought were gonna be romance ended up usually feeling a little bit more like contemporary. Plus, I also have mythology here. And I only read 2 middle grade books, which is really interesting. Then we have my booktube goals, which is not filled out at all, just don't look at it. And my content planner, which is a hideous page. And then we have journal flip through. I know this spread is really pretty, but I have no idea how to fill it out that it looks pretty as well. Alright, then we have book length. Now, obviously, I prefer reading books that are over 300 to 400 pages. These are kind of my ideal books, from 300 to 450, kind of like my ideal length. And you can definitely see. Now, I wasn't planning on reading any book under 100 pages. However, I did get the prompt shortest book on Kindle last month when I was doing my April TBR, and the shortest book on Kindle was 26 pages long, so I have one here. But I'm aiming a little bit higher these days. Kind of read books that are longer just to get rid of my intimidation of lengthy books. Then we have publication year, which I have 2 years together here, 21 and 2022, because I did not anticipate I was going to read any like newer releases, but I ended up doing it, and it was completely unintentional. Now, 2020 is my least favorite release year, I think. I am really enjoying the newer releases. And then we have the buzzword challenge, and for April it's big and little, so I really have to read Little Women. Moving on, we have my January. Then we have this to be read and notes spread. We have my finished reading. I really love how I made this all fluffy and with the stars. This is one of my favorite spreads so far, just the way it was done. But it took a long time and just a lot of build-up of color, and yeah. Then we have my school, my book radar, which I ended up scrapping because I don't like it, and then the stats, which were also done in February, but I did not end up doing it for March, and I don't think I will be continuing. Next we have February, which is really cute, I would say. Just a little bit cluttered. Then we have my school goals and stuff. We have, okay, this is one of my favorite spreads as well, except if it weren't for these X's. I wish I didn't do the X's and stuff, but which I didn't do here. But I really love this spread and the way it looks and the bubbles and everything, the colors. I think it goes together so well. Then we have the finished reading spread, which I hate. Don't even. I wish I didn't do this, but it's fine. Now we have book radar, which like I said, I stopped doing. And then I had the idea that the song that I'm listening to most in that month, that I try to find a book for it, a book association. I ended up scrapping this in the end. I just like seeing what songs I listen to most during that month. And then here are the stats. This X is the reason why I stopped doing stats in the first place, because I keep changing my mind about certain ratings. Then we have March, which I kind of messed up. I had a book here, but I chose the wrong color to color it in. And so then I had to color it in with green and just cover everything up. It still looks like a book, but here we have green forest, and then we have just the ocean. And this is the calendar. This is just my school goals, which I had only one left. And then life goals, which I managed to do everything. Alright, then it's my TBR time. This is everything that I had to read for my own bookish TBR game and Witcher Along. And then we had Buzzwordathon. And then this is all just Greek Godathon. And then my finished reading spread, which I really like how it turned out. I'm not gonna lie, this is just really pretty. And I did read 15 books in March. Alright, and then I had a page that was left, and I initially thought of doing book radar like I did previously, and then also doing the stats, but I ended up just doing first quarter stats. And then we have my unread bookshelf, which I ended up scrapping the previous ones. I did have a different one, but I ended up unhauling a lot of the books, and it ended up being just really hard to look through, and it was really not a good spread. So from 25th of February on is when this bookshelf is accurate, I guess. I don't know what word I'm looking for. So far I finished 9 books, and here is just a list of this spread. So all of these books just written down. Now we have my spring TBR, which I actually hate. I really don't like it. We have a little quote: in order to get the rainbow, you must endure the rain, which I feel like is very accurate for spring. And yeah. Then we have April, my April spread, which instead of doing a full calendar like I did, for example, in February, I did just a tiny one and then wrote down a few stuff that I have and left a lot of space just for other things. Then we have my to be read page, which is, I know it looks messy. It probably will continue being messy, but here I just have the books that I wanted to read and just the books that I made a video on in April TBR. Then we have my finished reading page, which I already have 1 book written down, and I'm gonna probably finish The Traitor Queen today. And that's it. I'm gonna be using up the entire notebook this year, but I won't be needing a new one because the amount of pages is just enough for me to do yearly stats and review. And that's it. That concludes my bullet journal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And thank you for letting me take you along on this flip through. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you next time.